Welcome back to Collective Practice. I'm Lauren Spalding, and if you're new here, this is a podcast for mental health entrepreneurs where we talk business skills, clinical skills, and our own mental health. And today I wanted to talk about what steps you should take when your business is in that transition period of your calendar feels more full, revenue feels more consistent, and you're moving into that next phase of growth. And a lot of times, therapists can feel stuck in that phase. It can feel really frustrating to try to figure out what's next. How do I keep the business growing? How do I move to my next goal? How do I move towards my ideal calendar rather than a full calendar? There's so much happening within this growth period that it can feel a bit overwhelming. And that's why I think this piece of advice is really, really important to you and your business. So be sure you're listening closely. What you should be doing when you move into this phase where revenue feels a little bit more secure and you feel like you can start to transition your business growth into the next phase is you should be outsourcing. You should be looking at what tasks you are currently doing. You're likely doing everything on your own right now, and what you're willing to give to someone else. One mistake that a lot of private practice owners make in our field is continuing to do every single thing for the business themselves. They may increase to other revenue streams like rental and start bringing on other therapists to the team, or renting a bigger space and having various practices within it. Or they may start investing in more systems in place, but they're continuously having to make sure all of this is running and functioning well. That leads a practice owner to burn out really quickly, to get spread way too thin, and to potentially feel financial stress without any revenue growth or without the appropriate growth that feels right for the business. So what I recommend is to take a moment and pause, look at your business plan, look at what your next goal is for the business, and figure out what you can outsource to get there. Another mistake that private practice owners make is they outsource with impulsivity versus intentionality. And by that, I mean there are times where private practice owners can get shiny object syndrome when it comes to adding overhead and adding additional costs to their practice. So they may hire someone or add something to their systems in place that their practice doesn't necessarily need. There are private practice owners who just see someone else engaging in a service or hiring someone, so they do it too. Or they know about a service or some type of outsourcing that is available, so they just add it on without really thinking about how it's going to serve the practice in the long run and how it's going to get you to your next goal. So what you want to do is really think about where you are at in your transition with your practice. What is the next phase of growth for you? So you really want to think through what your needs are and how those needs are going to be met by contributing some of that revenue to that additional overhead. You don't want to just hire someone for the sake of hiring someone. You especially don't want to hire someone just because everyone else is. That is not going to work for you because that person might be in a different phase of growth. They might have different goals of growth for their practice, and you aren't living true to your goals. So in the long run, that's going to bite you in the butt. So let's talk through some ideas of what you could outsource in your business so that you could focus more on being the CEO of the company, being really focused on big picture and being able to really show up for your business as the owner and not the owner and the admin assistant and the therapist and every single task that is required to run your business. You have to be comfortable with delegating and you have to be comfortable with growing your team. So what are some ways that you can grow your team? One really helpful way to grow your team, if you're focused on creating new streams of income or starting a new project, would be investing in marketing. Having someone who specializes in marketing on your team can really help that growth be a little bit more seamless, a little bit more streamlined, and a lot more focused in on what you're growing for. Who are you trying to target? And how can we do that beyond just your current resources or the current communities that you're plugged into? Another great outsourcing idea would be hiring someone to negotiate and maintain insurance for you. And that's going to be important if you're a therapist who takes insurance or you have a group practice of therapists who take insurance. Now, this is a task that is going to be helpful to outsource so that you're not having to spend a lot of time negotiating with insurance networks, getting everything set up and maintaining things when it's time for renewal. So this could be a really helpful thing to outsource if insurance is a big part of your practice. Another great and vital outsourcing idea that I recommend doing as soon as possible is outsourcing your billing and taxes. Having an accountant, having a CPA, having someone who is keeping an eye on your money and making sure that you're ready to pay your quarterly taxes and your annual taxes. This is so important to making sure that financially you are healthy as a business owner and that you are maintaining that financial security as your business grows. And then another great way to outsource that can be very helpful with business growth would be outsourcing the administrative tasks. So that could be a virtual assistant, a receptionist, or an office manager, someone who can take the smaller tasks off your plate, the things that you have to maintain weekly that anyone could do, but you're getting it off your plate so that you could do the bigger tasks for the business, so that you could focus on the company growing. Now, outsourcing within your practice isn't the only option. Maybe you want to focus on outsourcing outside of your practice and in your personal life. This could be really helpful to free up your time and your brain space so that you could really be focusing on your business rather than trying to spread yourself way too thin throughout your day. Now, it's really helpful to start outsourcing things in your personal life because you cannot do everything at 100%. You are only one person and you can only do so much in your 24 hours. And when you start to outsource some of the tasks, you can gain more hours in your day. When you're not having to fit in the daily chores, responsibilities, and tasks that come along with adulthood, you're able to free up a lot of space for working on your business, for resting, for spending time with family and friends. You're able to create more balance in your life, and that's overall going to make you a better business owner. So some ideas for outsourcing in your personal life could be outsourcing house cleaning. You could outsource laundry, which I think is an amazing service that I didn't even know was a thing, where you can have a wash and fold service. You put your dirty laundry in the bag and it comes back clean, folded, and all you have to do is put it in your drawer. You could outsource having a personal assistant, someone who runs errands, maybe picks up and drops off the kids, someone who gets those small tasks in the house done throughout the day while you're working. Or maybe you want to outsource childcare. If you do have your children at home right now and you're finding it difficult to manage business and childcare, don't be afraid to get creative with how you could outsource that as well. And it's important to note there is some mindset shift here when it comes to being comfortable with delegating tasks to others. And that is really recognizing that sometimes we can shame ourselves when we do this. We see ourselves as failing, as not being good enough, as being bratty or spoiled or entitled. There's lots of negative thoughts that can come in when we consider the fact that we don't have to do every single task at hand right now on our to-do list. And so make sure that you're addressing that mindset and extending some self-compassion and seeing this outsourcing as a way of giving yourself self-compassion as a business owner, as taking care of yourself, taking care of your business, and making sure that you're setting up a healthy, sustainable business that can continuously grow and continuously bring in that steady stream of revenue that you are looking for so that you can create more opportunities in your practice. I am also excited to share that I have started outsourcing my marketing, and I'm so excited about that. I'm reaching a point where I want to be able to market beyond my current capability. And so I knew it was time to bring in an expert who can really help me in this growth phase of my practice, where I'm really wanting to reach as many therapists as I can who are 2S LGBT plus, who are people of color, who have experienced a marginalized and oppressed identity, and they have big dreams for their practice, but don't quite have the confidence and feel like they don't have the resources to make it happen. I know that in order to make this mission come true, where I can help these therapists build the value-based practice that they've always dreamed of, I have to go beyond my marketing abilities. I have to go beyond just marketing to the communities that I happen to be in. I need to reach that person who's just scrolling on social media late at night. I need to reach that person who's been seeking out services and wants some support but doesn't know where to start. And so by making that choice to outsource my marketing, I'm able to focus more on the product itself. I really want to make sure that when someone does sign up for the collective practice membership, they are having the best experience, they're enjoying the community, and they're enjoying what they're learning. And I want to make sure that I'm showing up in a way that feels good to me. And that's not going to happen if I keep trying to do every single thing for my business. I feel so incredibly excited and elated with the person that I'm working with. She feels so aligned with my values and so aligned with my vision. She's incredibly on board and ready to help me to let this business grow beyond just what my minimum goal was for the membership. And I share this because I want you to experience that same feeling, that you are a business owner. You're not just a therapist who happens to own a business, and you're making smart financial decisions for you and your company. It's going to help you build your confidence. It's going to help you feel more settled in your goals and feel more capable of reaching those goals, because it's not just one person doing it. You're creating a team. You're creating a space for opportunity. If I just try to do everything myself, well, then I'm power hoarding. I'm hoarding any financial opportunity for others. I'm hoarding out of scarcity and fear of losing money or losing revenue. And I'm not creating opportunity for someone who has a skill, who has an amazing talent, to join the cause, to step into the team and be a part of what we do. And so we want to make sure that we're not making that mistake of hoarding our money by doing everything ourselves, or hoarding our power by not delegating and allowing others to do it. And we're creating an environment where there are different roles, different opportunities, and different jobs that can be filled by various people, not just you. This is going to allow you to really focus on that next level business ownership. It's going to allow you to clear up brain space so that you can be a lot more creative and intentional in how your business grows and how it remains value-based, abundance-centered, and inclusive and intentional. And that's going to create the work environment that you wish you were in as an associate. That's going to create the work environment that you wish that you had as a therapist prior to private practice. You're going to be able to create that space you envisioned, because you're not going to be spread so thin that you accidentally fall into that reactive space. So I want to encourage you to take a look at your business plan for 2022. What are your goals? What are those action steps? And then take a look at your daily schedule. How much time do you realistically have to start moving towards those goals? And is it time to outsource so that you can create more time to be able to really focus and be intentional with those goals? That's everything I've got for you today. Comment down below on how you are going to challenge yourself to outsource in the upcoming year and how you are going to be more intentional as a practice owner. I look forward to seeing how your business grows and how you are able to create more opportunities within your practice. Make sure you're following my social medias. I post even more free content there for private practice owners. And be sure to share today's episode with a friend, a colleague, or anyone who could benefit from this information. And if you're curious, be sure to message me about the collective practice membership. There are more details down below. And if you message me letting me know that that's something you might be interested in joining, I'll be sure to share more details with you and how you can sign up to be a member. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and it helps this podcast reach even more people. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye.